So hello everyone. We are in the third day of Heal Your Body, and I want to start with something completely different than what I have planned before. And this is what I love doing, what I'm doing, because I'm going with the flow and not with what I planned. So I just want to share something that happened with me. And thank you, Carol, for actually initiating this whole conversation. And and I really wanted to record this, so I don't want to miss out on what wants to come out as a message for others that who will watch this later. And as I was saying a little bit of the background, that I met this amazing woman, an Italian woman living in Budapest, and she is a starseed. She has these amazing abilities from, I think I even mentioned her in the first episode. She's one of those people that I know who never forgotten their abilities. They never really forgotten the memories of where they actually coming from. Always know, always known that this is not her home, um, and being able to see energy, see people as vibrations and colors, not very physical and tangible and solid as the majority of us are seeing people. And I found it fascinating when I first met her a few months ago in an event, and we instantly connected. And the more I spent time with her, the more I met her, and we talked and talked and talked. I could feel that there's something so beyond this world that it's happening inside of me and inside of her. And we it was the first person maybe in my life where I could just be so, I felt so naked, transparent with her. Every time she was talking, I could feel that she is listening to my soul. Is when you're not talking person to person, you're talking soul to soul. And she's the first person that was able to reflect to me or mirror me back, but unbiased. And and a part of me that I maybe never seen in anyone before being reflected so unfiltered. And I think, and this is love, right? We're talking about love, and everything is about love. Everything we're doing here is about love. But the way she was doing this, and the way I was sending her this information, my everything I was going through and I went through, and then she was reflecting that back to me with her words and her stories. And today's happened the same thing. I went to see her in the morning, and I just shared my experience from Friday, which was so crazily, profoundly, deeply raw and in the matrix type of experience. Which, what I mean is, when the ego is fighting for its life, and it's throwing to you everything, all the fears that you can ever think about, all the fears you've ever had, all the stories, all the emotions. I was so deep in this human experience of darkness, what we call your shadow. And 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 I've been experiencing this in the last few months very intensely, that either I'm very deep in this human emotions of unworthiness, like basically everything that the ego can come up with, trying to keep you in the illusion. And it really throws to you all your fears, everything you've ever wanted to escape and never see. And and then I'm very much in it. I feel this limitation. I feel the pain of being in these experiences, as of all these emotions and stories and lies and conditioning and programming. And I'm staying in it. I'm not escaping it. I'm not distracting myself. I'm able to keep myself in it. And then when I say, come on, I'm here, like, let all the demons out, I'm ready to face all the demons. And then when I do this, it all just crumbles, because it's not true, but it feels just so real. And then it crumbles, and I all of a sudden it projects me into bliss. So, and then I stay there for days, sometimes weeks, of this in all encompassing love and amazingness and true, like so much gratitude and so much excitement about future, and so in love of life and myself. And then all of a sudden I feel like, whoa, it starts again, this crushing. And then again it like brings me down into this earth struggle and the human pain. And I've been doing this, like, basically I call this experience in and out of matrix. So it's in the light, out of the lie, in the lie, out of the lie, and what we call human life, and this whole programming, conditioning, the limitation of who we believe we are, and this society programming and the illusion, the lie, the conditioning of the trauma, the character we created based on what we went through, and all those kind of lies, what we call, the pain of wanting to be accepted, wanting to behave that you fit in, wanting to be loved and be important. So you playing all these roles that are so heavy now, and nobody wants them, but you can't stop, because that's how you're conditioned, that you have the need to be important and be loved and be accepted, and these survival needs. And so of course I'm having this crazy, very, very the opposite extreme experiences. And of course me, I'm like, but why? Like, why I'm doing this? Like, what's the reason why I want to experience this? Why I want to be kept in this, seeing it from this perspective, and seeing it from that perspective, and seeing it from that perspective, and like, what is in it for me that I want this? and and today, with I was sharing this with Claudia. I was sharing this, the what happened in on Friday. And actually, when the solar flares were like shooting crazy, we had three extreme solar flares on Friday and Saturday, three extremes in 24 hours.
Wow.
So that was a lot that created this, or I would say created, made it more easier for me to go into and kind of like experience all this in such a short time. And and then I was just explaining to her that I was able to see myself, like, in the pain of the human ego. And I could, like, it just came out, all of it. I was just, it's just my mother actually just, I was already in the pain, but my mother just pushed a button and it just like, whoa, it all came out. And I was keep saying all this, like, the pain of my existence. And I got to the point that I said, I'm just so exhausted, my soul feels so exhausted, I can't do this anymore, I just really want to check out from this. And checking out, and I was able to recognize the what are actually people who get who want, I mean, who commit suicide, which I also explained last time. The pain of wanting to escape this acting, the role that you can't do it anymore, you are so exhausted of playing, of of needing to live up to people's expectations, and this subconscious program that it doesn't give you a break, that you need to be perfect, and you're never perfect, and it's always about getting better and better partner and better mother and better employer and better entrepreneur and better neighbor, and it's always about more, and you can't have a break to just be okay with who you are and not needing to just do and be and achieve and make and have and all this craziness that it's happening around us. And I could feel this part of me wanting so much to die.
Wow.
And then I realized, oh my God, like people mistake this, which is super logical, to them wanting, because they don't know how to deal with this. The only escape is ending life, but it's
Right.
not life who like, it's not that part of you who wants to die. It's this part of you who is, we call depressed, right? And
Yes.
needs deep rest. And and people don't know what to do this with this. We as society, we don't know how to treat this when you are just so tired of the story. And that's why many people commit suicide, because they don't know how to get out of this never ending
Yes.
monologue of how you failed, of how empty you feel, of how nothing is working, of how you can't show up anything, or of anything, and how nothing you have achieved makes or feels any important anymore, that you can't connect with yourself, you can't connect with anyone, you don't feel love, and you don't know what to do about it, and it's so painful that you prefer to just finish it like
And
entirely and check out. And I was in it, but because
wow.
I had enough space in between the real me and the characters suffering of the role, and this trying to live up to expectations of, well, myself, my parents, that I was keep having inside of me and keep playing on, which we all do. And because I had enough space between the two, I could feel it's not me. Like, I could feel it's a part of me, but this is not who I really am. And I could feel that the character wants to die. The character is
Wow.
fed up and is just too heavy to carry this, because this is not why we're here. This is not true. This is a learned behavior. These are learned patterns. These are learned expectations. These are things that it's all on us, but it's not us. And I really was so tired that I literally gave in, and I completely surrendered, and I said, I'm done. Let it be your will.
Wow.
And that created, like, it basically was a dying of an ego. Like, the dying went on, and I felt empty the next day, like zero, ground zero, when you just feel nothing, peace, like nothing, no up, no down. You feel like kind of just being, nothing extreme. Next day, same thing. And then on Monday, I started to kind of bubble up, like like to the surface. And then it went to like one to complete bliss again.
Wow.
And today it's Wednesday, right? So today I met Claudia, and I was sharing with her my experience, and she was so much understanding, and she was like, oh my God, I feel you, I see you, I understand you, and I'm so happy you're sharing this, because this is I know I'm not alone. I understand every word you're saying, and I know I'm not crazy, but I never heard other people talking about this. It's so superficial what people are talking about, is they never share the real journey. And I'm like, I know what you're saying. So we talked like 4 hours about this. So we were building on this energy and building more. And by the time we said goodbye, I went after that benching. Now, benching is exactly how it sounds. It's sitting on a bench, and doing nothing, just sitting on a bench and just being. And that's what I was doing in the city. We had beautiful sunshine, and I was just sitting there alone and just watching life going by. And then all of a sudden I started to feel this huge expansion, like my heart started to just like really like whoa, whoa. I didn't feel this huge expansion, like my heart started to wanting to come out of my chest. And I was like, okay, so something is happening here. And then this immense love like pouring out of me, and love for humanity. And then all of a sudden I got this realization, which is a remembering, that this is not the first time I'm having an awakening, that I had lifetimes where I got enlightened, and this actually is the fourth life that I'm going to get enlightened, that I know what's going on. And all of a sudden I had this like, oh my God, I am an ascended master. And then like this, when you remember, I was like, I am an ascended master. I am in the Ascended Masters Club.
Yeah.
And my love for humanity is so big that I decided to reincarnate again at this time, so I can help humanity awaken with my journey, and with the love that I'm starting to recognize and reconnect. Because what I felt that is just so different from my whole entire journey, and why Friday was so different, is that every time that every time that I failed in my expectation towards myself, I always went into self-blame, self-abuse, self, like, like um self-shame, and very, very not beautiful inner talk of, and always got to the same consequence: you need to work harder, you need to fix more, you need to heal more, you need another thing, you need another workshop. And it's fine, no worries, but it's because you are not still yet there, you are not enough yet. So I always got to the consequence that there's another level, there's another book, another workshop, another course, another guru who will bring that. So Agnes, it's okay, bring yourself together, go, 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 go. It was always this very masculine young energy of pushing harder, and always having the same thing. You see, Agnes, you didn't get there. Likewise, you have to push harder, you don't know yet enough. And this Friday, in the midst of all this crazy emotion, then the crazy thoughts that were going on in my head of like, you see, this is where you are, this is what you have achieved, and you worked so hard on yourself, and you did so much healing, so, and look where you have, what you have achieved, a big nothing. And all this crazy stuff was going on in my mind, and all these yucky emotions.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, the only thing I could feel was absolute unconditional love for myself. And this energy of this energy of a hug, of a mother who feels unconditional love. And it was the first time ever that I did not do what I always do, which is get to the same consequence that, oh, come on, it's fine, you can just do a little bit more, and then you will get eventually there. It was this, and I could hear myself saying, Agnes, you are amazing. You are just so strong and so courageous that you are able to face all these demons, and none of this is you. And it's the first time ever that I realized that is a lie by experiencing it. And I realized, like, this is my life lesson that I've came here to learn, which is I believed, you know, the program was that I'm unworthy, right? That was the original wound that was caused by my environment, or basically by my abandonment, the parents abandoning me, and then me feeling that not wantingness, and not obviously getting God, or reaching the consequence as a child. To You want to make sense of why your parents are not there, and why everybody's parents are there. So you wanna understand. You need the logical explanation. And we children somehow always get to the same consequence, that it's our fault in one way or another. And it's not it's you never think that it's life and its circumstances, and they're adults bringing, decisions, or you always make it that it's something wrong with me.
You. Mhm.
So I got to the same conclusion, that obviously I'm not enough in some way, or not lovable, or actually my biggest conclusion was I'm not worthy. And that was the belief that set me on this journey, and the belief that controlled my life, basically all my choices, and all the choices of partners, and every choice basically was governed by this unworthiness. And this was also what set me on the healing journey,
It's true.
so that I can prove that I am worthy. So how do we prove that we are worthy, especially if you also had a pattern that you are conditioned into? If you have results, you get love and attention. If you don't have results, and I'm talking about school, because
Mhm.
that's how my grandfather conditioned me, and I'm happy he did, but because that's why I'm here today. But that pattern of I'm here with you, helping you, but then I expect good marks. And if you bring good marks, then I'm happy and I love you. But if you don't bring or you don't live up to my expectations, so you don't bring the marks that I want, then I reject you. So I withdraw love, and in many cases you get punishment. So if this was going on for
Wow.
4 years, so I was conditioned to achievement. So if you achieve, you are lovable. If you don't achieve, you will be
No.
punished. So it's not a coincidence that my whole entire life was about achievement and trying to be successful, but it never worked. So I never got there. And there was, even if I would have, or even if I had gotten there, I would have never felt it, because there is not enough money and success in the world that you can actually feel it if the program is you are not.
Right.
So we mistakenly believe that if we just get there to that level, then we will feel worthy or successful or loved or whatever. But that is never the case, because the program is not true to start with. So this is what I have done my whole life. And it's just, the Friday thing was just so different of how I first time ever reacted to me looking around and not seeing anything that proves my worthiness. So now looking from here, I'm like, this is just so freaking perfect. Like life, your journey, everybody's journey, the guidance, everything that's happening, all the people they're there, it's everything is perfect. It's exactly what we need for becoming who we are, and waking up to that.
That's
And
big.
absolutely perfection in everything. And that's crazy, because you never feel like this when you are inside.
It's
You
true.
feel the opposite. But out of it, you look back, and now I'm like, imagine if someone who believes it's not worthy it's very logical that you will try to prove you are. Now, how do you try to prove it? With things that you achieve, and you say, you see, I made this amount of money, so I'm worthy. I healed 10,000 people, so I proved that I'm worthy. I manifested this house, that car, this relationship, this travel, whatever, all the things in the world. So you say, I am because of this. You see, I proved it. So all these things means that I'm worthy. Now, how can your higher self prove to you that you are worthy? But you don't mistake your worthiness to things outside of you that can come and go, and it's an illusion anyway, taking them away, right? So if there's nothing that you can say, I created this, so it means this and that. The only way you can find your worthiness in who you are is if you are completely stripped naked. And this is what I did to myself. Now that's why I understand my journey, and it's dramatic the way I designed it. But now seeing it, I'm like, it's dramatic because how could I help anyone if I never go through the deepest of the deepest of the deepest?
It's true.
Like, can I talk vulnerably about, can I say, hey guys, it's okay. Like, it's okay. I know how that feels like, and I know how he's on the other side as well. So there is a way out of that. This can be done, and it's just heavy because it's not yours and it's not true. Of course, you only feel that you just don't want it anymore, and it's absolutely it's the truth, right? It's just, this is how you feel, and it's okay. And I know what you feel, and this can change. Like, that wants to die, so let it die.
There you go.
And just let it, just like, kind of let it be there, let it come out, face them. It's your fear, but it's not true. So it feels true, but it's not true. It feels like you are falling apart into pieces, but you're actually falling together. So it feels like you're falling apart, but you're coming together. And it's just crazy because I created this experience of nothing. I can't hold, like, there's nothing I can hold on to say, thank you, I created this, so I'm worthy. I needed to keep going in and keep going in because there's nothing outside. My life didn't move at all in the 3D reality, anything in the last 7-8 months, nothing, zero, no movement, only internal, only like a hermiting. I would even say like the last, basically since last January, which is a year now.
Yeah.
Since even in France with Alice, like there was a lot of hermiting, a lot of inner transformations, and a lot of inner reflection, and like, but why? So that's what I spent my last year with. And so, and then today, when I remembered that, hey, like, I know who I am, like, I know who I am, I know why I came, and I know why I've chosen this journey. And all of a sudden, I got this huge, like, a love, coming out, saying like, but this is so exciting. Like, I love this so much. I forgot how much I love it. That's why I came back, because I want to help. I shouldn't have come back because I already, I'm ascending. Like, I'm there in the club. The fifth, there's 11,000 people in the club with Jesus, Buddha, Adamu, Saint Germain, and all these ascended masters. And that's why I always felt like I know them. Like, Jesus is always here. Last year, so many times came for healing and healing us. I channeled him many times. Adamu Saint Germain, I channeled him many times. Gaia, I channeled him so many times, her so many times.
Wow.
And I didn't know why them, why are they coming through? And Maria Magdalena, And
Wow.
because they're all ascended masters, they're my
It's
friends.
your family.
The people I'm hanging out with all the time in the other realms. And that's why they always coming to help me out, to saying, hey, you're fine, you know, like just you're human. You've forgotten who you are, but you're fine. And today I remember that I was sitting on the bench and I was like, it was just so crazy because it's not a big thing, you know, it felt so good, this confirmation of, oh, okay, all is good then, you know. And then all of a sudden I got so tired, like I really said to Alice, like, I just want to sleep for like 3 days now, because it was a huge relief, you know, that I realized this. And I was channeling on the bench, and I was talking with Adamo Saint Germain, and we were like joking around, and you know, because now I knew, like, oh well, I know I am. So it was like we were joking around, and I was laughing out loud, sitting alone on the
By
bench.
yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, and I didn't even have my earplugs, because you know when you can do that, because people don't, they think you're talking with someone, but I didn't have that, and I was laughing and crying and laughing and crying for basically half an hour
Wow.
of this bliss, this gratitude, this, it's not even gratitude, is this like, is the recognition when you are like, ah, you know, this, when you only this is the way I can explain it, like, ah, now I know.
Get it.
And it was just so liberating.
Wow.
And all of a sudden I realized, oh, but this is a game, like this is not true, I'm just playing here. But all of a sudden then it still feels true. So it's not like you wake up and then you ascend, and I didn't come here to ascend, I came to be a human. I came to play the game. I came to play the game and play it with others and help others to also have this, like,
True.
and it's so fun.
Oh, I
So
like
fun.
that.
And it's so mind-blowing at the same time. And it's just, I don't even have the words, it's fascinating.
Wow.
And everything that's going on, and these times when we are able to to leave behind everything we are not, and really tap into who we really are, and that limitlessness, that unbounded experience, and growing beyond this character. And this is what we so many of us now kind of doing, kind of going out, and there's like, ooh, what's out there, and then you come back, because like it's so, you don't even know what's there, so you kind of like just peeking out, and then okay, so I'm still alive, good. And then again you go out, and then a little bit more time, and then again you come back. And this is what a few of us now, who I know and been surrounded by, are kind of doing. It is this in between, where you are still not on the other side, you're still in this, and then you are in and out, in and out. And I really, it's very intense, but I wouldn't give it for anything. And this feeling, like, yes, I know when I'm in it, I really feel like I'm dying, but but still. And I even said to Claudia today, even when I'm in the deepest of the deepest, of the most yuckiest and most painful inner, like, blah blah blah, and all my ego trying to put on me all the things, even then I wouldn't change it for anything.
That's profound. Yeah.
So this is this is my human experience.
It's fascinating. I loved every minute of it.
Oh my God. We were talking about Claudia about actually starting to talk like this, like the raw experience, the raw journey. Um, because first of all, I don't believe that there's anyone outside who can be as authentic, because at the same time, like, it feels super vulnerable, very raw, very, like, you put basically all your things out there, but at the same time it feels so empowering and just so in, like, so in your power, because this is real, like, is real, it's happening. But is anyone really talking about this side, or everybody's talking about the superficial, very mind based, you have to fix yourself? Like, this is what
That's
we
true.
were laughing, that even if you go to the, yesterday we were in a library, well, we were in a bookstore, because we went to a cafe which is in a bookstore, so we were kind of just looking around it, and we saw that in the spiritual, like, shelf or island, all the books is basically about how to become a better something.
It's true.
And then we went to the psychological island, and it was the same, but from the science perspective, like how to, how to be a better, achieve your goals, and how to, it was always only about the mind. No matter if you are in the spiritual world, it was, do this technique, do that, meditate, do, like, reprogram, change your belief. Like, it's always about the mind.
Right.
And there's nothing about this, like, how do you reconnect to you? And I believe that there's some out there, but still it feels very distorted, which is okay. And I'm just saying that it really feels that there's something, this raw information, this raw experience, that it is okay that your ego is throwing all the trash to you.
Don't all.
It's okay. So what can you do with it? You have things you can do. You can allow it, for example, and know that you will not die in it, because you will die, but it's going to be to die the part of you that never was true. And it does feel very painful, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. You feel that you're going backwards. You feel that you've done so much work and you didn't go anywhere with it. You really
Yeah.
feel all these things, that you didn't progress anything, that you didn't grow anything, that it
Wow.
was a waste of time, that you know so much, but it didn't help you in any way. And this is all part of the illusion, because, let's be honest, with the majority of the things we did, we just fed the ego. We didn't really do anything other than
The
like,
ego.
feeding
Wow.
the ego with information.
That's true. I see that.
It's just so much information, and it's okay. But what we are really looking is who we really are if all of this is gone. Like, what would you do? And we started to talk with Claudia, and again, we had exactly the same message coming through: play. Like,
I like that.
just play. Like, that's why you're here. Like, if there was nothing to prove, if you had all the money in the world, and the love and the relationships, everything you ever wanted is yours, what would you do? What would you
It's
want
true.
to spend the rest of your 40 years left?
Just having fun, right? I like play. I like that idea.
Is just play. And this was my message. I did the pick a card reading the other day, and the message was exactly that. Like,
Wow.
you've you've done it. You arrived. There's nothing left. There's just play. Just play. And Claudia was saying, "Oh my God, I am so happy that you're saying this, because this is exactly what I also got, that you are here to just really be you. like you, and what would you do if there was nothing to achieve and nowhere to go, and not no need to be better, more fixed, more whatever, more. They're like, there's no more. You have arrived, and you feel that, right? So you feel it, and that you are successful, that you are amazing, that you are abundant, and you don't miss anything outside of you. Like, you don't need proof of that. You feel all of them, and you feel this super, that I'm feeling first time ever in my life. And this is why I realized I've done so much work, actually. I mean, this is the result of all my years of healing and work that I did, that I was able to feel this true unconditional, which I never knew what that means, unconditional love and acceptance for my journey, for myself, for where I am. And I was able to see that whatever is around me, that doesn't say anything about me. So nothing which is outside of me is actually has to do anything with me, in the perspective of money will never say who I am. My relationships will never say who I am. My house will never, my status, my job, my business, not my car, like none of these things can say anything about who I am. My everything I am, all the value, the worth, the everything is inside and will always be inside. And I was able to see that and feel that at the same time that this whole thing was going on. And that's when I said, wow, okay, so I don't know what this is, but I'm good with you. Like, we are good together. Like, i'm I'm so happy that I have you. Basically, this is how I felt. And I believe that this is where everybody is going. I believe this is the biggest accomplishment a human being can achieve, to feel unconditional love and acceptance for himself and herself. And after that is freedom. Like, if
That's
you,
wonderful.
there's nothing else beyond that, right?
I love it. It's so clear. This is an amazing broadcast. This is exactly what I needed to hear today.
Ah.
It's really touching me. It's so true. It's so clear. All that we see and we think that defines who we are, it's just out there. But the really important stuff is who we really authentically are inside. Wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yes. You're welcome. But this is it. This is the truth. And really being now just ready to do that, just play that out, the you, the true authentic self. What would you do? How would you behave? What would you choose to spend time with? What would make you really happy? And this is all of us going back to our childlike, innocent experience of life, when you are just so sucked into something that you really like doing, that there's no present, there's no past. I mean, there's no future, there's no past. You are just so in doing whatever you're doing, and you're enjoying so much because you are discovering yourself with that thing. And no matter what that is, and it can be different things, and can be this one thing one day and the next day another thing. And this is why we came. This is how you show people it's okay, you can do it too. You have permission. And I believe this is the message, giving permission. But it all starts with one person at least, who realizes that, oh, I'm already whole and complete. I always been. There's nothing out there. So what do I want to do now? And paradoxically, this brings in everything you ever wanted, because you are not chasing it anymore.
Right.
So it just comes in because it's your energy. You are like so well And I have a phrase which is called, which I always was teaching to in Soul Hub. I was saying, if you can reach this state of absolutely nothing could make me any happier than I am right now, it's the state where you are the most magnetic to everything you ever want, because you don't want anything. And it's just right now. So just realizing the moments where you feel, because they usually at the beginning is just a moment, one moment when you feel just so perfect right here, right now. And that can be very simple moments where you just have your morning coffee
Sure.
and you're like, oh, absolutely nothing could make me any happier than I am right now. And then you start realizing that you actually have quite many moments like this during the day if you are aware. And it might be just being in an amazing conversation like today, with my friend, and it was 4 hours where I felt absolutely nothing could make me any happier than I am right now. And then just that expanded more in the benching, and that expanded even more in the channeling. So that's why I was able to get
Wow.
to these levels, because I already acknowledged and I was aware of this, absolutely nothing could make me any happier. But it all starts with these moments that during the day that you start to be aware of, and
I love
just
that.
say, whoa. And then it's just a conversation with a good friend, or with your neighbor, or just seeing a beautiful baby, just or just watching, your dog playing. Or those are the moments where you just don't need anything. You just don't need anything. You are just so perfect in that moment, um, that you are whole and complete. And that's when you everything is coming to you, because there's no need, there's no wanting, there's no must, there's no have, there's no lack, there's nothing.
Right. Perfect. Just look
Because
for
you
those
just
moments.
yeah, so just become aware of those moments, and even maybe say it like, absolutely nothing could make me any happier than I am right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
I read something that kind of the words it used were look for the glimmers,
Mm.
those little things that, like you said, those little shiny things, those things that make your heart sing, and or in those moments that make your heart sing. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. The other thing that I was always teaching, and I love it, I'm still using it a lot, is called How Can It Get Better Than This? This one.
I've
But
got that.
this involves, or it sounds like it involves a little bit of expectation of something, like this is not enough, so how can it get? But it's actually not, because when you say, how can it get better than this? It's saying, absolutely nothing could make me any happier. That's what it means, because you say, it's this like, oh my God, like, how can it get better than this? It cannot, right? So you kind of assume how it sounds. It says, it's just, yeah, it's not an actual question. It's more like an acknowledgement, or an awareness of saying, oh, how can it get better than this? And it really means, thank you. I'm seeing this is absolutely awesome, and I'm so open to expand. That's what it means. So this acknowledgement of perfection with this word, with this one sentence, it's also the same energy of the absolute nothing could make me any happier than I am. And all the time, when you just say those words, either one or the other of the phrase, either one sentence or the other one, whichever you like more, it usually is always matched up by the universe very soon after. Somehow, an expansion will follow. And I play with this a lot. I used to play a lot more, because now somehow it's just, yeah. At the beginning, it was more fun to see how it was always measured up by something else. So I remember that when I started to say something happened, and I was like, oh my God, how can it get better than this? And then maybe 5 minutes or an hour later, something crazy happened that was unexpected. And then I was like, oh wow, how can it get better than this? And then something even bigger happened afterward. And I was able to see these big like expansion that were coming, is because it's the energy behind this is this very playful, innocent, childlike thinking, like, oh, I'm loving so much this, you know. And I just wonder what else could happen. So it's so playful and open that the universe just wants to show you how it can get better. And it's an ongoing surprising you type of experience that you start having if you are able to keep this, like, I have no plans, surprise me type of experience. Like, you show me how can it get better than this, and I will just step out from away from my own, way, and let it happen. And and this is when magic happens, and magic, synchronicities, coincidences, because you feel the flow. You feel, and you're like, ooh, I want more, let's play more, oh, I'm so excited, show me more. And then if you can keep this up, it just starts to create momentum, and you just start seeing things, or like that never happened before, because you really need to be in this allowing and playful excitement and this joyful anticipation, uh, exactly like a child. Like, you never knew what's going to happen, you were always surprised. And you just wanted the next amazing thing, and then the next amazing thing. And this is where we're going back. So that's the end of the message. This is where we're going back to that innocent, childlike, in the moment, creator and playful, um, and a playful, um, participant in this reality, and just really playing with all these energies that are available for us, and then going beyond planning and beyond anticipating and beyond expectations, and just really be in this, because then you are limitless creator. Because if there's no plan, that, because plan comes from something that you already know,
Yeah.
right? But if there's no plan, you go beyond that, so you go into realms that you don't know what is there, and you are able to go beyond what people created so far, because you don't limit yourself to trying to figure out. So you start tapping into spaces that maybe nobody tapped in before, because nobody allowed themselves to go beyond the
That,
mind and what other people, created as so far.
wow. What a wonderful journey. At the end of the journey, the biggest thing you can learn is to be childlike and to play and to, it's wonderful.
It is.
We forget all that, huh? Isn't that funny how that journey makes us forget? We get so caught up, like you said, in all that programming. We forget the important, basic essence of us. I'm playing today, man, whatever.
Go, go,
Wait.
go.
Oh, great. I loved it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for playing with me.
Oh, always, always.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Agnes.
much. I'm really grateful for you. And I really, really love you. Really. And I
Oh,
hope you
I
feel
love you
it, because I
too.
feel so much like, oh,
Oh, I
hugging.
do too. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Have wonderful adventures, and don't forget to play yourself.